Hello and welcome to the first edition of Through the Season with Colorado State Track and Field, where I take you with me through the turbulent 2023 track season, discussing results and meeting athletes along the way. With me today is Allam Bushara, CSU's all-time record holder in the indoor and outdoor triple jump. We'll discuss the thrill of breaking personal barriers, how an athlete like Bushara prepares for competition, and then preview the Mountain West Championship meet, hosted by New Mexico from February 23rd through the 25th. I just wanted to start, I guess, by thanking you for coming on and doing this with me. Obviously, you've had a great career so far. You were a one-time state champion in high school, came runner-up in your senior year, and now 4 or 5 years later, you're the CSU all-time record holder for the triple jump. Just how, I guess I first want to start with that experience for you breaking that mark, I think with a 52 8 3/4 jump. Do you remember that day? What can you tell me about it?
Yeah, I just remember having a really hard time. We showed up at the meet, and I just remember like I had long jump the day before, and I didn't get the result that I wanted in the long jump, so I was pretty upset. But it hurt. It hurt my knee quite a bit. And so the next day I was trying to like recoup from it, and I felt like I couldn't. But at the same time, I was just like, I have to like jump well because I really need this. And I wanted to make it to the NCAAs, and I'm pretty sure you need 16 meters even, and you could go to like NCAA. But unfortunately, that's not how it turned out. The mark I think last year was like 16:12 or something like that, or 16:10 or something like that. And I 16:07. So I ended up getting like I was like barely off going to nationals. I think I ended up like 17th or 18th in the nation, which kind of hurt. But I mean, at the same time, it was like the greatest feeling ever. I mean, when you jump, like when you PR, it's before anybody else. Like the jumper knows before you even hit the sand. Like you're like, oh, that's a PR for sure. Now all you gotta do is get up, turn around, and look to see that white flag. And if it's there, then there you go. You got a PR. So yeah, that one was different. That one was different.
Yeah, and tell me about like how different it was, because I was a triple jumper as well, and I don't think I ever PR'd by like a foot and a half like you did that day. How
Yeah.
just did everything just go perfect?
Not even actually. It was actually a really rough meet, and like my first 5 jumps just weren't that good. And I was just kind of like, you know what, dude, I'm just gonna pour it out. Like everything I have, I'm just gonna put it on there. Because if I don't do that, then I'm gonna be mad with myself. I'm gonna be like, oh, I could have done this, I could have done that, but I just had to leave it all out there. And then I just remember running down, and I like to get the clap going, and like while I'm running, I just couldn't hear anything. Like it was just silent. Like all I could hear was my footsteps. And then I got to the board, and I don't know, man. It's just like triple jump just took over. You know what I'm saying? Like my brain was just kind of like, do what you know how to do. I just felt like every phase, I felt like I was in that phase for 3 seconds, like in the air holding it, and it was just like everything was slow motion. It was awesome. And then I got up out of the sand, and I was like, holy crap, that was huge. And so I run over to the board because I got to see what my mark is. And they're like pulling out the tape measure. And I didn't even see what it was. I just saw the 16 and that my mark was past it, and I ran. And I was like, oh my God, bro, I just jumped to 16 meters. So yeah, that was, I don't know. Right. And then right afterwards, I collapsed because I was like so exhausted. You know what I mean? I was like,
Yeah.
from both the celebrating and from like that jump, like I literally left everything I had out on that jump. So felt
And
really good.
just out of curiosity, is there something like there's that just like helps you about indoor? Because I noticed that sometimes you
Yeah.
perform better indoors.
Man, I've been trying to figure that out for the past 4 years. I tell you what, because like I don't know what it is. I think it's just because I get hurt a lot for outdoor. Like triple jumping inside is completely different from triple jumping outside. Like inside, you can get more bounce from the runway. You can use the runway a little bit more, but when you're outside, it's all strength. It's like it's literally you have to be feeling good enough to be able to rebound off a hard surface. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Compared to indoor, it's like that Mondo track is just super soft and nice. It just doesn't feel like you're really doing anything. It does most of the work for you, if you ask me, but yeah.
And fast forward to now, I'm looking at the Mountain West standings at the moment. Obviously, I feel like you know the name Aiden Quinn.
Yeah, yeah, my arch nemesis.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's the only one besides you that is jumping, 50 feet, more than 50 feet this season.
Yeah.
How are you expecting to go into this Mountain West tournament? How are you feeling at this
Same
point?
way. same way as I've gone for every single one. I'm going there to beat Aiden. I mean, every year it's always to beat Aiden. It's never anyone else. It's never like it's always between me and him. So, which I really like that dynamic because then it pushes like we push each other further. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I sure do wish there were a couple more in our conference, but it is what it is. I'm just going over there to compete with Aiden and see who gets another medal, another gold medal. You know what I mean? I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure we're even right now. I think it's like 2-2. So I gotta one up him.
Yeah.
Gotta one up indoor and outdoor this year.
Yep.
Yeah.
When did that kind of rivalry start? When did you meet him, and when did it kind of become like you and him at the top two spot in the Mountain West?
Um, it probably had to be my sophomore year. Because my freshman year, we were all it was like four of us, and we were all kind of up there. We were all kind of jumping the same. And I got fourth my first year, and I just kind of like, all right, this is like my starting point. But uh, I think I think sophomore year invitational at the peak. I think it was like February 6th or something like that of 2021, I believe, is when like our rivalry really like started to take form, where it was just like me against Aiden. And then I mean ever since then it's just always been whenever we see each other at a meet, it's like, what's up, man? Like let's go get it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you think you perform better when you're going up against him?
Definitely, bro. Not
Yeah.
even a question. Like if especially if he's jumping good. Like if he's not jumping good, I probably won't either. If he's jumping good, we're both jumping good. Like that's just how it is. Like it's
Yep.
just we're so competitive against each other that it helps us out. So
So take me to last year's indoor championship in the Mountain West. How do you prepare for days like that, especially when you know that you have a shot to win it?
this might sound a little bit weird, but I don't change anything. Like I live my life just completely the way I normally do because I feel like if I change something, it might not change it for the better. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it might hinder me because my body's learning something new or because my body's just like, oh, we're not used to this. So I kind of just keep everything the way that I like operate now, like on like the normal everyday basis. And then from there I just kind of, just show up at the meet. I do a little bit more treatment than I usually do, but other than that, nothing changes.
Does anything change like mentally? Are you thinking about it more? Or is it just, another day?
Another day. I guess it kind of depends per season because like coming into this year, my only goal is to go to nationals. Conference isn't that big of a deal to me, so I guess because of that, I'm more I'm more focused on the mark than I am about the result. Like this year, I just want to jump 1620, and then like that's my only goal. It's my only goal this year. And then hopefully because of that 1620, I get taken to the NCAA championships. Like I just want to be a second team All American. So at
And
least.
how close are you to that? I think the mark you had was 1576.
Yeah, I'm not close enough right now. I think I'm gonna have to PR to be able to make it. But it's always the goal. I
Yeah.
always want to PR. I'm always trying to PR. So yeah, 1620 is the mark I'm trying to hit.
And at this point in time, how does your body feel? Does your body feel like a 1620 at the moment?
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I thought I was gonna hit it like coming off of break, but because of that, I got hurt, which made me kind of relax, I guess you can say. Like my second meet into this season, I had to take a half approach jump because I just wasn't feeling like I was back yet.
Mhm.
And then my third meet, I did really horrible because I also was hurt. And then this past weekend, I did really good. So I think my body's starting to come back, and it feels the triple jump, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
It feels like triple jump is coming back to me. So
Yeah, and especially with a week off to just kind of chill and
yeah,
perfect your form, stuff like that.
yeah, be a little fresh.
Yep. And
Hmm.
I know that the indoor meet is in Albuquerque every year. Does that have anything to do with anything? Because I know you usually in the indoor season you run or you jump around Colorado, but when you go down to New Mexico, does anything change?
Yeah, I love it there. It's great.
Yeah.
It's a fast track. It's super bouncy. Nothing ever hurts there. It feels really nice. Like I like Albuquerque's track. I don't like Albuquerque, but I love their track. I love their track. Albuquerque sucks, but yeah, that convention center is A1.
What sucks about Albuquerque?
Well, I mean, it's known for the land of enchantment and meth. So, I mean, do what you will with that information. Yeah,
That's fair, man. So
yeah.
as a team, CSU hasn't won a championship since I think 2020. As far as indoor goes, is
Mhm.
that a goal that y'all are chasing? Is that in the cards?
Uh, Always. I think every single year we're always in that running for trying to for trying to get a championship. We're always either first or second, at least on the men's side.
Mhm.
Last year we lost outdoor by 3 points, which is honestly that's less than an event. You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
someone can say, "Oh, you can make that up in an event." You can make that up in a place, two places. Like
Hmm.
it's insane. So like I think we always, at least on the men's side, we always have that chance of winning, and I think this year we have a really good chance of doing so. So
And do you think I kind of lost my train of thought here, but do you think what is the mind space like of the coaches when they come up to talk to you for meets like this? Is it different in any way? What is the message for the entire team, I guess?
uh, is it it's that they don't care about marks anymore. It's like marks don't matter anymore. It's about going over there and winning. Like competing on the day and beating those people on the day. If it's not your best mark, so be it. Did you win? Boom. There you go. There's your victory. Because then that's more points for the team, which hopefully leads to a championship. Because that's the whole goal, is to get a championship. So yeah, performance isn't as valued as it is like for the rest of the season. It's more about competing. It's about showing up on the day and being there for your teammates and all the above.
And for you, how does that feel for someone to say that to you? Obviously, you're trying to get a mark, you know, for the NCAA's, but also you're trying to win for your team and get those points at the places for the meet itself, you know. So how does
Yeah.
that do those conflict, or are you just trying to go out there and jump the best you can?
Now usually they go hand in hand. So like if I win, I probably PR'd.
Yeah.
If I PR, I probably win. I probably won. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because I ain't trying to be that guy, but I think I'm better than Aiden Quinn, like my PR wise and everything. Like I think I'm better than him. I just have had bad meets, you know what I mean? And like
Mhm.
unfortunately, just on the day, I just wasn't there. But I just I don't know. I feel like this one, I don't feel like I'm not gonna be there. You know, I feel like I'm gonna be pretty ready to go. So I think usually I think they go hand in hand. If I PR, I usually do good, and if I do good, it's probably because I PR'd. So.
How does a championship feel? Because correct me if I'm wrong. You've won two, right? One indoor, one outdoor in your career.
Mhm.
How is that feeling? How does that feel?
uh like your work finally reaches its fruition, you know what I mean? Like it's finally here, and it's finally like all of this work that you've put in is finally here, and it's finally like come to you and you've earned it, you know? And I honestly, I think like getting my ring feels more satisfying than actually winning it. Because when you like open up that case for the first time with your name on it, you're like, oh man, like this is dope. Like I'm gonna keep this for the rest of my life. Like I might not keep the memory of winning the championship, but that ring itself is just excellent. Like I love them. I love them.
Do you get anything like that? Well, obviously, I guess medals, but for winning an individual event.
Yeah, you get like a gold medal. I've been trying to get athlete of the meet since my freshman year, but I don't do enough events to get athlete of the meet. So because I that's like a nice ass trophy, and I'm just like, damn, I really want that on my mantle. You know what I'm saying? But I guess this year I'm only going for triple. I'm not doing long jump or high jump. I plan on doing that in the future. I just need to get healthy enough to be able to like do it. But yeah,
Is that the reason you don't do them anymore? Is that you can't really stay healthy for it?
yeah, that's the
Yeah.
only reason why I don't do it anymore. It's because I mean I want to jump. I want a long jump. I really want a high jump, but it's just because my knee might not be able to take all three jumps at once. So
Hmm.
got to pick one.
So usually, who wins athlete of the meet?
Uh, every year
Like
it's
some,
different.
yeah, but like somebody, what does somebody have to do to win that
Oh,
kind of
like
thing?
you gotta compete in like 4 different events and win all of them basically. Like you gotta be top dog. It's usually the person who scores the most points for their team.
Okay.
So like say like one individual scores 23 points, that's like 2 first places and like a fifth place or sixth place finish. Like that's a pretty big chunk. 30 points for your team, 40 points for your team. Like that's I feel like 25 and above is when you start looking at athlete of the meet for conference at least, because they're contributing so much to the team. And most of the time I only put up 10. So it's like, 8 to 12 is usually my range of points that I put up. So
Which
yeah.
is still a pretty good number for an
Yeah.
entire conference meet.
Yeah.
So when you're looking at this week, obviously besides the training aspect of it and the recovery, does anything change about the preparation as far as practice goes, as far as getting in that headspace?
Um, for my headspace, I just choose to relax. I choose to like chill out and not think about it too much, just kind of treat it like it's a normal day, like normal days until we start like, I feel like for me, once we start traveling, that's when my headspace is kind of like, okay, now we really have to like get into this. We have to start like visualizing what it's going to look like. I tend to dream about my triple jump quite a bit. Like once I leave and I'm like in the hotel and stuff, a lot of what I'm like daydreaming about is triple jump. And then even when I go to sleep, like as I'm falling asleep, I tend to think about triple jump, so I can have
Mhm.
triple jump dreams. It's weird because I get like very like into it, but that's only when I'm like there, like in the hotel, already there, like getting ready to go. But leading up to that point, I just take it really easy. I just kind of chill out, be me, and that's it.
There you go. I kind of skipped over this in the beginning, but when did you start jumping?
Uh, triple jump was like high school. It was like freshman year of high school. But long jump was third grade. I've been doing long jump longer than I've been running track, honestly. And then high jump was also around high school. So like triple and high jump were freshman year of high school was when I really started like getting into it. I did do it in middle school a little bit, but I just wasn't as good. So
Mhm.
once I got into high school, I was like, oh, I'm taking this serious.
Do you
Yeah.
remember your first mark in high school?
44 or something.
God, that was your first mark?
Yeah, I think it was like
Damn.
44 or something. Because coming out of in eighth grade, I jumped 38 feet.
Okay.
Then I remember like that the following year I had played football for a whole season. Like, I was going through like a growth spurt. So I gained a lot of muscle. I got faster. And so by my freshman year, I jumped 44. And then that's when my coaches were like, maybe you should consider like doing track instead of football. And I was just kind of like, all right, I'll consider it. And I didn't really take it seriously. And then my sophomore year came up and I jumped 47. And I was like, okay, yeah, I have to start focusing on track. And then 49 and then 49 again. So
And that's kind of interesting too, because at that time you're improving every year by 6 feet and then 3 feet and then however many more. But as you get better, as you're jumping 50 plus feet,
smaller.
it's so small. Does that take a
Yeah.
toll on you or anything like that?
No, man, a PR is a PR. You know what I'm saying?
There
Like,
you
if
go.
you jump far, you jump far. So, like, for me, even if it's a meter, I'm like, bet that's a PR. That's a personal best. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, I'm doing better. Is what it's showing me is that like I can do better and I can still earn more like meters. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It just shows me that I have more potential left if I can keep PRing.
There you go. How far
Yeah.
do you think you could jump?
Bro, I don't know. Like I've been trying to ask myself that question, but I don't know. I never thought I would get to 16 meters, to be honest with you. So there's that. Like I think my jumps in college were even pretty big because I went from coming into college at like 15, 24, something like that. I went up to 1588 and then 1607. Like my jumps were so large that I feel like there's at least one more in there, like a big jump before I start going into the smaller ones. But so far, none of my PRs have been really that small. The last one was 20 centimeters, which is a pretty big jump.
That is a pretty big number because that's approaching like a foot, right?
Yeah. And then 30 centimeters was before that. And then before that, it was like 50 centimeters. So yeah, they're getting smaller. It's like 50, 30, and 20. But
Yep.
hopefully I can get another 50 in there, and then we'll call it good.
There you go. So
Yeah.
as the all-time CSU record holder for the triple jump, just walk me through that. How does that feel? How do you get to that point? What does it take?
Um, it honestly takes really good teammates to to get you there. Because I remember the first time I broke 50 feet. It was at Wyoming, and it was at the power meet. It was on my birthday, and it was crazy because my entire team was on the railing and they were all clapping for me, and like just that energy from them like gave me that extra boost to jump further. Same with conference last year, my PR there, everybody was lined up, clapping for me. I could hear it. Like it was like I'm big on the clap because I like people. I like to know that people are watching me. I know that sounds like really vain, but like it's like um it makes me feel good to know that my teammates are watching me, because I like to watch them. So like to know that they're watching me by giving me that clap makes me feel good.
There you
Yeah,
go.
I feel like that's like the biggest thing.
And when you break those records, do you have those records in mind? Before you break the record, do you have it in mind and have it as a goal? Is it just
Mm-mm.
something that happens?
Just something that happens. It's just something that happens along the way. Like for me, I feel like it should happen if I reach my distance goals. Like
Mhm.
if I jump what I think I can jump, then I should break the record. So to me, it's not really so much of a big deal of the record. It's more about if I meet my goal, my personal goal of how far I want to jump.
So what does it mean to you just to be able to keep breaking not only your PRs but also, history at CSU?
It feels pretty cool. Feels pretty cool. I think it's crazy because like the Mountain West record is 54 feet, and
Which is not
it's
that far
coached.
off.
No, but it's coached by Coach Howe, which is over at Wyoming. He's the head jumps coach over at Wyoming, and I'm just kind of like dang, you know what I mean? Like this guy that I'm going for your record, and you're a coach, So hopefully I do get that. That would be awesome if I could break the Mountain West record. Because if I do that, then I'm definitely like in the pool for potentially going to Olympic trials and stuff like 54, 55 feet. So yeah, I guess I'm gunning for that one because breaking a record feels really, really like good,
Mhm.
but it's only secondary to PRing.
There you
So
go.
like right under PRing is breaking a record.
There you go. Well,
Yeah.
perfect.